All right. Wow. I had a fantastic week. I hope y'all did too. And happy Friday. I put the camera in a place where you can kind of see me now. All right, what do you want to talk about? Number one, sushi. I love sushi. Number two, I want to talk about the new Lotus Emira. And number three, we'll talk about recent service I had to check on a noise. Yeah. Number one, sushi. Last weekend, or actually almost 2 weeks ago now, my wife and I and her family tried a new sushi place for my sister-in-law's birthday. In short, it was amazing. Place we tried was called Aikan Sushi, or is it Aikan Ramen and Sushi, I think, in Pasadena. Great sushi, great atmosphere. What makes this place special is the ramen that comes with all you can eat as well. So that's pretty unique. I've never heard of that before. And it was tasty and awesome. I gotta crank the air in here, it's hot. Come on, Tesla. You can do it with your autopilot. Okay, alright, never mind. I don't understand how the autopilot works. Maybe they can't merge on their own, I don't know. Number two, Lotus Emira. That came out, I think, 2 weeks ago now, a little less than 2 weeks, during the Goodwood Festival of Speed. Was a revelation for me, and it might be the last of its kind. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people say that on YouTube. All kinds of YouTubers who review cars, car makers, last of its kind. But I think this actually might be the last of its kind. But this car kind of blows my mind because the cost is relatively attainable. It's probably gonna be, I think they said it was 60,000 pounds, which I don't know the exact conversion. I'm gonna guess somewhere between 70,000 and 80,000 US dollars. So less than $100,000 for a baby supercar. And my current dream car is a 991 GT3, which currently at current prices is unattainable. And with my income, currently unattainable. But maybe one day it would be. But for now, Lotus Emira is kind of on my radar right now. Not right now in the short term, but in the long term. Something that I could aspire to by the time I turn 40 or something. You know, I gotta be realistic about these things. So when I saw this car, two other cars came to mind, actually kind of three, that reminded me of or its looks, its drivetrain, and its size kind of reminded me of three other supercars that are unattainable. So it seems like an amazing alternative. I guess the most obvious thing I can kind of compare it to is a Cayman GT4. It's kind of similar in price and performance. I would say the looks are probably slightly better because it gives you that baby supercar look. Nothing wrong with the Cayman GT4, it looks awesome, but it's definitely a little restrained compared to other supercars. But anyway, the other three cars that came to mind was the Maserati MC20, has a V6. the McLaren Artura, which also has a V6 with a hybrid powertrain. The Artura looks a lot like the Lotus Emira, and my wife actually, when I showed my wife the Lotus Emira, she said that it looked like a McLaren, and I totally forgot about the Artura. I looked it up a short time later, and she was totally right. They look kind of similar, especially from the side profile. And then the third car that came to mind was the Ferrari, I think 296 GTB, which is also a V6 hybrid. And all those cars I just mentioned are twin turbo. Coincidentally, just like the Giulia Quadrifoglio. But anyway, again, when I first saw it, it blew my mind. What also blew my mind, watching highlights and people's videos from Goodwood, was Shmi 150's ride with F1 champion Jenson Button. I'll give you guys a listen here.
It just sounds wonderful.
I don't know about you guys, but that was probably one of the best sounding V6s currently on sale. I realize it's probably still based on a Toyota V6. That's fine. I'm sure they upgraded many of the components, and it's supercharged. That's fine by me. What is also cool about it, in my opinion, the interior looks very modern. You know, it reminds me a lot about what the MC20 looks like on the inside, and almost kind of McLaren-esque with the dash, the simplicity of the dashboard and the display. I don't know, it's just a very clean interior design. It looks really modern. I love it. And I'm really excited for this car. And maybe one day I'll be lucky enough to test drive it. It's also really cool that you can still get it with a manual transmission. I think that's an amazing thing. Alright, moving on. Last but not least, we had service and inspection done with this car. At full throttle, at third gear or above, I was experiencing a whistle noise, and to be quite honest with you, it sounded like a boost leak, you know, somewhere in the ducting for the turbos. Took it in. I took a technician with me to demo the noise, and he heard it, thankfully. And I left it with them for a couple hours, and thankfully they were able to find the source of the problem. It was a ducting for the passenger side turbo that was not seated properly from last service I got, because they had to remove that, among other things, to replace the radiator and to do regular belt service. So it was an easy fix. They just loosened the clamp, reseated it, and retightened the clamp, or probably put a new clamp, I'm not sure. And the noise is gone, thankfully. So thank you very much to the technician and the dealer I went to. Mileage, I just crossed 43,000 miles. Some things to talk about for next time. Debating if I should extend the warranty and buy a service contract. Yeah, I don't do any of the service on my car. Number one, I don't have enough room to do it with my current living situation. If I did have enough room, would I do it? Probably still not, because I'd rather use that time to work, believe it or not, because that guarantees my job and my income at the moment. But sure, I'm totally capable of doing my own service. And some other topics I'd like to talk about in the future is what options came on this car, and what other experiences I've had with the car. I think those would be interesting to talk about. Well, thank you all for listening. Thank you to everyone who watched 2 weeks ago, and for everyone who is subscribing, I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, eat well and drive better. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.